One's a former NFL star turned esports coach.
But I was getting the stink eye from my wife. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
And one's a dad who can't stop playing Rocket League.
These kids these days, they're like, blah, 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 blah. We're used to jump and run.
Together, they welcome you to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge.
Hey, welcome into the Gamers Lounge. I'm your host, Ahman Green, along with my good friend and co-host here, John Audius. Man, John, how you doing?
What is going on, Ahman? Are you ready? I still got the Christmas wrapping. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or whatever, we go live every Wednesday at 11. I've got this wrapping paper still behind me because I wanted to take it down, and my daughter was like, "No, keep the wrapping paper up." So we've got one more wrapping paper episode.
Oh, hey, kids know. They know.
They know.
They are. That's why I talk to my kids, and I get all the fashion tips or the slang out there. So it keeps me hip. I'm that dad. I want to be just a little hip. You see me. I want to be in the now a little bit. Know what's going on, so I'm not in a conversation with a whole bunch of 20-somethings, and I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So if you're first time into the Gamers Lounge, like I mentioned, I'm your host, along with my co-host, John Audius, and we talk about the video game world, from the esports, college esports, game releases, and then obviously the culture. If it's a comic book launch or whatever, something fun going on, we'll try to hit it. Nothing like that today. It's the end of the year, so this is kind of like our end of the year show. We're going to recap some of the things that we talked about this year, especially in the game launch space. So game releases of the year, some of the games that we actually either talked about or played. And I'm like kind of surprised the game that some of the websites have picked. One of the websites I found out there have picked a game for its #1 game of the year. I was like, interesting. I heard it's a fun game. I haven't played it yet. I think I'm gonna play it on my stream, which now is the off season for me, so I have a little more time for that. So and then we'll recap our final episode, season finale of Andor, however you want to say it. He's a rebellion, a member, and now it's a great ending to this show. Can't wait to talk about it here on the show, and pass it off to you, John, for our sponsorship read with Bet Online real quick.
All right, so check out Bet Online. It's your #1 source for all your sports betting needs this season. You're going to find the latest odds, team matchup information, player news, and game trends, all at Bet Online. And as your continued source for all sports wagering info, Bet Online features live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. It's the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events, whether that's the National Football League, which we're almost to the playoffs.
I know playoffs is right. It's 3 weeks away. 2 weeks of regular season and playoffs.
NBA, NHL, MMA, tennis, boxing, or even golf. Speaking of the NBA, did you see what Luka did?
No, what do you do now? I know he balled out. He's always fantastic.
Ahman, this stat line, when I saw this, my jaw dropped.
He had like he had a quadruple double or something, or
he had a triple double, 10 assists. 10 assists. Okay. 21 rebounds.
21 boards.
That's huge. 60 points.
Sick, God bless. And he's a forward, right?
Yes. I love your reaction. God bless.
And what was the last stat? What was it? Yeah,
60 points, 21 rebounds, 10 assists. He had a triple-double.
Oh, triple-double. Okay.
It's the no one in the history of the league has ever kind of had that type of triple-double.
Really? I would think. 20, not Michael Jordan, not Magic Johnson, not
Jason
the
Kidd,
Lakers. Will Chamberlain. Yeah, Will Chamberlain, old school players. Wow.
That is insane.
Lucas, man, he's a problem because of his size. Like his size, along with his dribble skills. Because I just found out that Zion is playing point. He runs point sometimes in the game. I'm like, man. I said, just imagine. Like you could. Well, we did have it in football. Remember, Lorenzen? He played at Kentucky. He got drafted to the Giants. He was like a big quarterback. He looked like an offensive lineman.
Yeah, he was awesome.
So just imagine you got that and put him at 6'7" and can actually run and throw. That's a problem.
That is a problem. Zion, I really love Zion. I love his demeanor. Like I don't know if you saw him. He dunked at the end of a game. I think it was in.
I've seen him dunk on people, so it's probably
But the game was out of control. It was out of hand. They were winning, and then they passed it down the court. And the announcer in the clip is like, "No, no, no! Don't do it! Don't do it!" And he pulls off like this 360 windmill dunk to end the game. He's strutting. I'm like, I love it. And he had a great answer afterwards because the other team was PO'd. Like, what are you doing? I love Zion. Anyway, real quick, head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online where the game starts. That's BLEAV. Now, man, Luca went off, says Spectrum Esports Dorn.
That's Scott. That's Scott. I know. He works with so that's a furniture esports company that basically we were able to get all our new tables, not all our tables, not new, but all our tables that was at Lakeland.
Nice
esports that I had there. So
but Luca was awesome, and so was Zion, and the NBA is really fun to watch.
It is. I mean, I'm gonna start watching it now. Once playoffs get here, I could watch that on one day, and then football the next day. So what's up, Riley? The show. He's been on my stream a little bit. How you doing, Dome Rocker? Doing well. Scott as well with that Spectrum drop in there. And John, you got asked by Dome Rocker. John, did you dye your hair? Huh? Did you dye your hair, John?
Dye your hair? Just
dye
your hair?
I don't know. I don't think you did. Right?
What? It looks the same to me. What? You think I dyed it black? It's always been black.
Right.
What color?
Right.
Adjust your monitor settings. What do you?
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah. And Kurt Finge, if I'm saying his last name right, Finge, he says, how do I feel about Jones possibly breaking my all-time rushing record? Hey, records are made to be broken. Hey, they're there to be for that reason. I broke Jim Taylor's. It was there for 43 years. Mine's has been there for almost 15, 16 years now. So, that's a good stint. Double-digit years. That's not bad.
So you're kind of mentally like prepared, like someday this is going to.
Yeah, I mean, it took 43 years for Jam Taylor's to fall. It might be shorter, obviously, because we got fantastic players playing. And as long as Aaron can stay healthy, which I hope he can, great. I love the pass. Give him hand the ball off to him and him take the crown. I'll be right behind him. So
he's got 5,125. You had 8,322.
So about 4 more years, he could be there for sure.
But here's the thing about running backs these days, Ahman. They're not built like this is not a disrespect of anyone. I'm not trying to
right.
I'm talking about the position in general. It's not like back in the day where you could be in the league longer. Like there's a very short shelf life for running backs. So that's what I wonder about someone who's up there and like, oh, he's only got 3 years. Man, running backs in 3 years from now, good luck trying to figure out what somebody's going to be doing in 3 years.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, true. It was the same thing when I was when I got drafted. It was 3 years then, or a little bit less than that.
Okay.
And it was something, in my head, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna set a goal for 10 years and see how it goes. And I knew how to take care of my body, get sleep, get rest, massages, chiropractor, all that fun stuff. I used to get cleansing. I used to do cleansings when I was younger, because my mom taught me about cleaning out your body, kind of like you get an oil change, do that, stay healthy for that lamp part.
What's a cleanse consist of? I'm so far off the topic of this review of video games for 2022.
Right.
Is that what I think it is?
It starts. It's not like the medical side of where you basically get a tube stuck up your butt there.
Okay.
It's a sauna cleansing. So we sit in the sauna most of the day, and you're drinking, stuff to help clean out your body, like flaxseed oil, water. You're drinking a ton of water with a lot of electrolytes in it, potassium, magnesium, and throughout the day. So it's like a 6-hour day that you're sitting in there and you're drinking flaxseed oil and other different oils that help cleanse out your internal organs and flush everything out. So you just be like, you're coming out like you take your car to Jiffy Lube or go get the oil change. You getting that for yourself. And I've done it in my life. I think I've done it 3 times. So that helps with good health, all the other stuff our body, that's in our family. If you got high blood pressure, you got hypertension, all that, it helps fight against that. And so I say I'm very well versed in that area. And speaking for Christmas gifts, real quick, Christmas gift, I got 2 books from a friend. Got the title is called The Blue Zones. And so the blue zones are zones in the world where the healthiest people are living. There's people over 100 years old living in these blue zone areas. So I haven't started reading the books yet, so I can't say where these blue zones are. I just know they're in the world on our planet. So that is one of my Christmas gifts. I hope
There's a really
great
good
Christmas.
show on Netflix with Zac Efron. Sorry to interrupt. Zac Efron.
No,
it's the season 1. He tries to tackle that question. He goes around the world like trying to solve things.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen previews for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they talk about the blue zone, these areas around the world where people just live longer. What is it? What is it about their lifestyle? What is it about their diet? What is it about everything? And it's really interesting because it makes you think about, like, obviously they live in these areas where there's less stress. They eat whole foods. They gather
it's not processed food,
processed foods, and they make their meals. It's not like here where you stick something in the microwave and then you go,
or you go do a drive-through and you pick it up thinking that's a meal, or it's a healthy meal.
And everybody's stressed out and everything like that, and anxious, and
yeah. So I was gonna let you know. So your screen is a little fuzzy, John. I don't know what you got, a little inner interruption going for you there, but we can hear you clear. We can hear you fine. We can hear you fine. Just let you know. But yeah, I got some news for the whole chat, and for some of you, you might already know this. I know, Scott, this would be new to you. So I've been hired at the University of Nebraska as a lecturer and the esports head coach director by the fall. So I'll be starting here in a few weeks. So it's a big change. Thank you. I see your face, John.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be down in Lincoln, Nebraska here in a few weeks. But obviously, tough conversation I had to have with Lakeland, the kids and my administrators that brought me in and helped me start my career there as the esports coach and building that program from the ground up. And we're right now a successful program there. So that was tough, to talk to them and have that conversation. And now, I'm transitioning over down to Lincoln, my home, where I play ball at, but now I'm coaching esports there. So never thought. Now, this is one thing, like, I don't get surprised about a lot of things, and I usually plan for the future, but this is one thing that was not on that list. I was thinking, okay, maybe I coach football there, when I got older, one day, not video games. So I'm happy to be doing that, coaching video games at my university. I'm going to teach a class again, like I did last semester, for the spring, and then get ready for the fall. And they got a lot of teams down there. They got players. They got 3 teams of League, 2 teams of Valorant, Call of Duty team. Rocket League is probably their best game so far. Talked to the president. They has a student-run program, so it's all been organized by the kids. So none of no administrators, no faculty. They do have faculty, but it's kind of on their own time because it's not, it's a club sport, at the college level. So just wanted to put, let everybody know, be aware of that real quick. So I like your reaction, John.
Well, no, that's amazing. That's fantastic, Ahman.
I love everybody's reaction.
Yeah, I mean, well, not only because you're within that esports community still, but it's Lincoln. It's back where it all started for you. So that's great.
Yep. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, John Rocker, JFK. Will you still be living? It'll be back and forth, a little back and forth, obviously, because that's down in the I say the start of the Midwest there. So it's pretty cool. And so on the movie scene, though, because we haven't talked a whole lot of movies, because I know holiday break, you watch a ton of Christmas movies, but this is not a Christmas movie, but you got to check it out. It's called Glass Onion. It's part 2 of the Knives Out movie with Daniel Craig. He's like the investigator. He's like the private eye. And so him and Janelle Monáe stole the show. Ed Norton is also in it. I want to say Goldie Hawn's daughter. I can't think of her name right now. She's in it. They got a nice A-list of actors in this movie, but Janelle Monáe, she's a singer/actress, and Daniel Craig stole the show. They're awesome in it. I said, if you're into a good mystery movie, this is your movie. You need to check it out. It's on Netflix right now. And then also from the weekend, I've been watching football, and these Packers, they're on their lifeline. They're on that last little lifeline, and they got about I think their percentage went up to be in the playoffs now. They're like up to 30%. It was down to 8, 11, and now 30. If some games they can win out and obviously beat some other teams. So just crazy stuff there. Before we head on to what you got going on, John.
Are we doing? What are we? I kind of checked in already. Should we
Are
go
you
to
checked
the?
In already? Let's go to the news bites here.
Okay.
We got yours up first.
All right. So this is something that I want to dig deeper into my story that I found a little bit later on. But I think everybody, when you see the headline, you're going to be like, "Wait, what? Wait, what's happening? What's happening? And
what's going on in Roblox?
In Roblox?" So I saw the headline. This is just posted not too long ago from IGN. Inside Roblox's criminal underworld, where kids are scamming kids. So when I saw that, I'm like, wait, what's going on? So the sub headline here, or whatever that's called, we discover Roblox's teenager hackers, the system that enables them and their victims. And it goes on to talk about like this scammer who, I don't know exactly how they do that. Like I said, I would love to get Luke Winky on.
We could revisit this with Luke.
With Luke Winky, who wrote this. Yeah, but it just basically talks about, I guess there's just kind of this underworld where teenagers are scamming other teenagers, they're stealing passwords, they're taking money, and it's crazy. And I wonder if there's any of our listeners who have encountered this, or maybe this is more, like I said, kids scamming kids, more of a younger issue. But I don't know, man. I hate scammers. Like, whether it's in video games, whether it's over the phone, whether it's email, like, it makes me so upset that you're such a loser. I probably shouldn't say anything. I'll get scammed next. It's such a loser. That's what you're like. Instead of using because you obviously, if you're able to do all these things that some of these scammers are doing, like, you're really smart. You know what I mean? Like, you have a lot of skills. You have a skill set. There's something there, but you choose to use it in such a deceptive way. It's disappointing, I guess.
Right. I think this is kind of like the funny thing to do amongst the Gen Z. Because I have 2 nephews. When they were younger, they're grown now. They're like in their 30s, late 20s now. But when they were in their teenage years, early 20, late teen, they were in late teens, early 20s. So about 10 years ago, I'm in a conversation with them. I'm down in Omaha visiting my family, hanging out with my 2 nephews. And they're joking about how they hacked each other's bank accounts and took $5 out or $10 out. Ha ha, funny. I hacked your account today. Da, 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 da. And then I hacked into your one of his video game accounts or something. I played and I spent $10 on whatever. I'm like, this is funny to y'all? I'm like, nah, this is close to fight words for me. I'm like, you in my bank account? It's my brother, just ha ha ha. I know how to do that stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? You need to go work for the government. I can make this happen. I know some people at that spot. So I think like this is a sign of the times where kids growing up, either just born or teenage years or middle-aged years, where this is something that is just like my kids are all my kids are really versed in making, social media graphics, videos, voiceover songs or videos of some of themselves. It's just amazing how to them is easy. To us, it's like, man, it's a task. It takes us 2-3 hours to figure it out. So this is unfortunate in this Roblox situation that you have kids, but you would think that the kids of the times would know when they're being spammed or scammed, because they're all so suspicious. I hear cap so many times, the word cap, no cap this, no cap that, which it means you're lying to me or whatever it exactly means. So I'm just interested. It's actually interesting to know that kids are actually getting scammed when usually they always have their radar on not to get scammed. So definitely interesting there, John.
Yeah, so I think we should dig deeper into this. I want to.
We got to reach out to your boy.
Yeah, I'll reach out to IGN. I'll reach out to the author here, Luke Winky, and see if I think it's just a really interesting storyline that maybe we could spend a little bit more time in depth later.
Yeah, well, we got some cool stuff going. I found this thing. Yeah. I'm like, this thing here will change your life if you're a gamer. Let me go back to the top. I seen one of these though. I went to TwitchCon last year, so 2 years ago. Actually, 2 years ago. 3 years ago, 2019, the last one before I went to this past one. And the military had this gaming pod. So similar to this one. So this one, the headlines you read, Codemaster announces the Orb X gaming pod, which right now they're pricing at around 10 grand.
Oy.
The military
Really?
one, yeah. So
Why?
the 2019 one I was in, not this, it wasn't this design, but it was similar. It had a chair, it had monitors, it had about 3 monitors you could put up. This one says you could put up 2 or 3 27-inch monitors or 2 34-inch monitors or one 34-inch monitor, and has your PC built into the seat there, and the seat reclines. So I was in something similar, not this sleek design, but something similar that the military had at their booth at TwitchCon back in 2019. And that one at the time was $25,000. I was like, ooh, I don't think the wife will let me bring this one home. But to have this out there, and it's another company who's out there, or Acer, who was also a computer monitor company. They unveiled their gaming pod several years ago. That is around about 20,000 and it's called the Predator. What was it? Theranos, if I'm saying it correctly. So the Orb X is a semi-closed cockpit, according to Coolmaster. The front part can hold up to, like I said, 27-inch monitors and a single 30-inch display. To climb inside this sucker, there's a motorized arm that raises the monitors out of the way. The extra large desk piece also swivels and access to the cockpit, and it has the built-in as well, and it's a phone charger also. You got to have the phone charger in there, If you got a PC in there, you better have something else that charges up the phone, So I'm seeing this like, man, we're gonna eventually, this is gonna be the norm.
Yeah,
the price will drop.
Yeah,
the price will drop, but to see this now, it's like, oh man.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. The price will drop. So it's like
Love
20 grand. Like, how low would that have to go? Because I'm looking at it now, like what you just said, like that to me seems like a lot of people would want that.
Yes. Like 10 grand is doable for some, not all.
No.
But then you get around, between 9 and 8, because it was 3 years ago, it was 25 and 20,000. Now you're looking at 10. So people are catching on, and companies are making it more affordable because they know what industry is growing up, which is the esports industry, our video game industry is growing up very fast. And so they got streamers, they have content creators, those are the same, but you have these professional gaming orgs that can have this for their players. Just imagine, Optic Gaming, Cloud9, any of the big gaming companies, Bucks Gaming, they could have, or organizations, they could have this for their players. Mm-hmm. If I walk in and I'm playing for Bucks Gaming or any NBA 2K team, Overwatch team, and I see this as my game, as my setup, I'm like, oh, I'm good. Well, we about to make things happen. And massage shit, I hope it
looks awesome.
It has to have a massage thing in here or something.
That's what I wonder. Like, what is the cheapest that can get where people would act? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not spending $10,000 on a little pod.
No, it's gonna. Let me see if this video runs here. But under the video here, it says the Orb X has built-in surround sound, spatial audio to enhance your immersion. However, it's only 2.1 audio instead of a 5.1. It's compromised with 2-inch drivers and 2-inch tweeters and a 5-inch subwoofer. So there's some I/O nestled in a bar next to the arm set, so you can plug in your headphones or USB devices. So here's another shot of it right here.
Looks awesome.
It looks pretty. I like the look, man. It looks like something that we've seen in some sci-fi movie years ago.
Yeah. So think about it
now. It's here.
What is that? The size of like a refrigerator, basically.
Basically,
a little bit wider, and it's got a monitor right in front of you. It's got everything you would need. Like you could sit there, you could just watch Netflix, you could play video games. It's just be your spot to. The only thing now they gotta just make it like it moves.
Yeah, it has wheels. You gonna put
wheels
on it. Everything with wheels is much better. Scott, if you're still in the chat, Scott, or still in the show, Scott, listen to that. So here to wrap it up, it said Coolmaster isn't sharing any pricing or availability info yet, but these are not cheap. So given the $14,000 price tag for the more affordable Acer Predator Theranos Air, we can assume that the Orb X is somewhere around 10. So it's going to be around 10,000. Because the other one for Acer Predator is 14 grand. So also shipping would be interesting because according to the calculations, it weighs 750 pounds.
Oh, so it is like getting a refrigerator.
Oh,
you have to set it up like the guys would come in a big truck and have to deliver it.
Because man, you break this, it's gonna be a problem, bro. Like, bro, you can't just come in here with one person. You're gonna need at least 3 or 4 people to bring this in. I'm gonna help too, because I'm gonna make sure it's not bringing. So you can go over to extremetech.com to read more about this fun little toy for gamers out there like myself.
Do you know how much I hate putting together things? Like, you
get you one of those folks? You don't like putting the things together? Come on,
there's a little packets of screws. I'm like, okay, great. Now I get to sit on the floor for an hour, hurt my back, get frustrated, read instructions and put together things. Like, I can imagine like how this would come. The people would deliver it, drop it off in your basement or whatever, and be like, see ya. And then you spend the next 2 days putting it together. I'd be so.
That's the fun of it, though, man.
That's fun to you?
Yes, I put things when I read this. When you do put something together, tell me, do you do this? Do you throw the instruction away, or do you read the instructions?
I have to read the instructions, otherwise it's just a big mess of like, I don't know where to start.
I know people that just don't even. They check the. I'm like, are you even looking at the instructions?
That's insane.
Hey, AG, come in. I need help. I'm like, it's an instruction manual. It's not. They have different languages. They have English in there. I say that to my friends. I give them a hard time.
I'm totally with Sergeant Mal Reynolds.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. I was clicking.
We're both trying to click on it.
Yeah, I was clicking. It says, "I'm with John on that. Assembling things is boring and leads to argument." How does it lead to argument?
Because it's frustrating. Because you're like, the screw won't go in. I don't know what you want me to do. The screw's not going in. It says to do it, and there's only 3 left, and it says we need 4. So we're not making it. I don't know what to say. That's what happens. Things like that.
Oh my God. Is it like that? Oh my goodness. That is comical to me. Because it has a little book there. It's a little book or a big book that has English, French, German.
I understand there's an instruction.
Japanese, Chinese. Just take a couple seconds longer and sit there and read the book. That used to come with video games back in the day, the little instruction manual. It doesn't no more. So yeah, I built stuff for me from IKEA Eeyore. So he says, "Have you built something for me?" And yeah, they have the instructions right there. Or are you one of those people, Chat or John? You look at the box and try to build off the picture?
No,
you do that?
No way. It's too complicated.
I know people that try to do that. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, huh? I'm like, how you gonna miss some parts because it don't have every angle on the photo, on the side of the box. So if you mess up, then that's probably why you messed up. Oh man, John. Let's head over to this or that now.
This or that.
Man, you got to have some big time confidence to just throw the instructions away.
Yeah,
like,
you got to be like
this
Einstein level on that. All right.
This or that. By the way, if you have a suggestion for this or that, we might read your this or that on the air. So just send a message on social media, check out our Discord, drop it in there if you have a good idea for this or that question. And let's go. This or that. Drink from an ocean or a pool. Ooh. So wait, I have to drink water from a pool or an ocean? Like,
yeah.
Well, the ocean.
He said you had to think for a second. Ocean or the pool?
Well, because the pool has chemicals in it.
Yeah, well, the ocean does too, right?
Well, I mean,
it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. I'll say that much. It depends. This is a tough one for me because I don't care in some ways because water is water to me, but obviously it's not in certain areas. But I'm definitely not drinking lake water because that water is still water just sitting there forever. Even though ocean has animals, I'm giving this way too much information. I'll just go ocean. I'm not doing a pool for sure. Ocean.
Well, it's okay. So as I start to think about it more, so obviously the pool has all these chemicals, but the chemicals are there to kill the bad things, right? And if you go swimming in a pool, you're bound to take a little bit of water within your, right? Like it just happens. But what you said about the lake got me thinking, because there's no way you want to drink lake or river water because it's filled with organisms and bacteria that'll be like, hey, what's up here? Let's attack this guy's gut, and you'll be sick. And I'm sure it's like that in the ocean too. So
I think you got a better shot.
Dang, this question got
water. You go on with it's salt, so that's kind of good for you. A little sodium.
I guess.
A little action.
Yeah, I guess
know.
I'll stick with Ocean. I'll stick with
All right,
Ocean.
stick with Ocean. We got what's that? Mass Style says salty ocean versus is it chlorinated pool.
Yeah.
Hard choice. And then what he says. Oh, the cat's meow. Hello, how you doing? She's a good streamer. John might want to check her out on Twitch, and she's really good at Halo. I'm gonna throw in her squad. So you are all ready to die to the salty ocean water. I love it. The cat's meow. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we don't know what we're talking about here. We're just trying to make choices, trying to make life decisions here. All right, next one on the list. This is a long one, John. Sorry.
That's okay. Next one is you get every new video game on release day, but you have to wait to play it, or wait a month before you can get it, but you can play it right away. Oh, wait a month before you can get it, but you can play it right away, because then to you're just behind, right? But it doesn't really matter, because everything's always new to you, but you get it right away. You're just 30 days behind schedule. I'd rather be like constantly getting new stuff that's new to me.
Right.
Or it doesn't really matter, because if you got this
is where you gotta, it's like now it's hitting you different.
Well, I think isn't it the same thing? Because so think about it this way. So if you pretend I'm getting a new video game. Here's my new video game. I got to wait 30 days, but I have one that's been 30 days waiting, so I'll play this one instead. So I'm constantly grabbing from the older titles and then eventually getting to the new one. Or I have to wait.
I left out a few words. Hold on.
I think it's the same thing.
No. I left out a few words. Every video game. See, this is when you're rushing. Every video game release out, but you have to wait to play it a month.
Okay.
I left out a month before you could play it. Or wait a month before you could get it, but can't play it right away. So I left out. I gotta edit that.
It's the same thing. I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can figure this out for me.
I'm supposed to put right after get every video game release date, but you have to wait to play it a month, or a month before you get it. You got to wait a month before you get it, but you can play it right away. That's what it was. I left the one word.
I think it's the same thing.
Well, that's what this one says is the same thing, but with the waiting a month.
No, because if you're waiting, this is either going to be like the worst conversation for people to listen to of all time.
No, they're having fun. They're laughing right now.
Okay, because think about it. Like,
I was loving it.
Because if you're waiting a month before you can get it, but you get to play everything right away, so you're playing something that's 30 days old, right?
That happens to me anyway, because I got so many games sitting on my shelf over here. I got games I ain't played in a year. I've had for a year. I haven't played it yet. So, and everybody's told me, "Oh, that game is awesome." I'm like, "Oh, it's just sitting there looking at me right now." You know, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Hold on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's the same thing. So either way we choose, am I wrong on this?
No. Is get every video game on release day, and you have to wait. You have to play it.
Put it over here for 30 days.
For 30 days.
Or I wait 30 days and I get something right away. So I'm still waiting 30 days.
Well, release, it says wait a month before you can get. So you actually physically, you have to wait a month before you get the cartridge or the disc or the download. And then boom, you can play it right away. So it's sort of the same, but it's not, because you don't have it for 30 days. But the first one part of it says you have it for 30 days sitting at your house, sitting where you could grab it and play it, but you can't. You got to wait a month before you play it. So that's the difference. So it is close, but it's not that close. I think I got it right. I know I got it right. I nailed it.
So which one are you choosing?
I'm choosing, because the one I do anyway, I always got games sitting around, sitting in the plastic. So I'm gonna wait a month and get it. Wait a month before I get it and play it right away. Yeah, because it's already sitting at my house. So I'm gonna go with the second part. Wait a month before I get it, but I can play it right away. Boom. I'm gonna do that one.
Okay.
We figured that one out. The headache is over.
So if you get Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, and it came out right away,
and I have it right away,
you get it. You're going to wait a month. You're going to wait 30 days, and then you're going to play it.
Which I already do with a lot of games. So I'm already doing that now.
I'll choose the first one then, and I'll get Call of Duty right away. but then I'll play it in 30 days.
Right. There you go. Okay. Cat's meow said it makes sense if you think about it, There it is. We're thinking about it. Cat's meow in chat. Yes, indeed.
Let's go to the next one.
Let's go to the next
Moving
one.
on.
Moving on.
Would you rather be trapped in an app video or internet video? Okay, Ahman, you got to explain this one. What do you mean trapped?
App video. Trapped in the video. Just like, okay, we're in that world. We're in the crazy. You know how you watch a movie or TV show? It's like on some other stuff. So this is that other stuff type of setting. So it's a world where you could only live in a video of an app that you download. Or
so give me an example of what type of video in an app. Like what would that be like?
Like in what's the app? Name an app. Just give me any
Facebook.
app. Facebook app. Boom. That app right there. So it's a ton of videos on there. That's where you're gonna be trapped at. Or you could be out on the World Wide Web on another that's out there, just floating in space of video. I don't know.
I think it's the same thing. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I didn't get much sleep last night, just so you know. All right.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what I hate about? So I mentioned face. I hate algorithms for videos. By the way,
algorithm. Hey, it's real. It's funny all at the same time because I could search something and then an hour later I go back to that computer or even on my phone and now I see. I'm like, okay, y'all wrong for that. You got now the ad. I just looked up Ragnarok and now I see Ragnarok previews everywhere. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm going to go in an app video, but even like on Instagram or on Facebook videos, you find yourself scrolling through all the recommendations and you're like, well, wait, hold on. A month ago, I was looking at dogs and now I'm looking at like NBA clips. You're like, where are all my dogs?
Happened? Right. So imagine if you were stuck in its corn video for life. See, Catch Me Out here knows what I'm talking about. Mass Styles too. Mass Styles is both sound like hell. Yes, it did. Yes, indeed.
That's funny.
Yes, indeed. So where you at, man?
I'm gonna be in the app video.
You're gonna be in the app video. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do the internet. Just be out there everywhere. I could bet you get out of that thing. All right. Next one on the list. Okay. And I believe it's the last one. Hold up. Where are we at? Oh, this is a fun one. I've done this one in so many ways.
Okay. Here we go. No toothbrush or no toothpaste. We need toothpaste.
No, you don't.
What's the you don't?
That's what I said.
I've done this. Me that the toothpaste helped clean your teeth.
It does, but you know what? Okay. I've done this because I forgot traveling and I forgot my toothpaste one time. And another time I forgot my toothbrush. Okay. So what do you do? The time I forgot my toothbrush, you still brush because you're cleaning off the plaque. It may not take care of your hot breath, but at least the plaque is being taken off with the bristles. You feel me?
Okay. Yeah, you're scrubbing it down just like you would scrub like a tabletop without soap. You just
exactly.
Still,
you may not.
Okay.
It's boom. You feel me? We there. We are there. If you don't have the brush, but you have the toothpaste, your finger.
Yeah, now you're putting your dirty finger into your mouth and scraping all the.
Yeah, I didn't say all that. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, John?
But I mean, I've done the finger.
Camping life. There it is. Right, that is camp life. Yes, it is. Eeyore.
Yeah, fingers with toothpaste is. I think we've all probably done that. So the reason though, but the toothpaste I'm on, then you've got that minty. You feel like you feel clean.
Yes, you do feel clean, but you will, like I said, without the toothpaste, you will have what Spectrum Esports door says. Hot breath, that dragon breath, coming off the top rope. And then Master House says no toothbrush as a kid. Been few times I use my finger with toothpaste. Hey, I do it. I've done it as an adult. I could count on both hands because I just forget my toothpaste, and I'm like, dang. And I don't remember. I could go down to the hotel desk and ask for a free toothbrush. And they give you go. So travel hack. You could go to a hotel and ask them, can you give me if you need it? I left my toothpaste and toothbrush at home. Oh, here you go. They have them at the front desk of hotels. I don't know if people knew that. No, I didn't know for a while. There you go. Yeah. Travel hack.
Okay. All right. There you go. I've also read. I might be making this up. I shouldn't say this. I don't know if I read it. I don't know where I heard it from. But if you just like at the very minimum, just swish your mouth with water.
True.
At the very minute, it's gonna like loosen
That
some
helps.
stuff
That
up,
helps.
and you're just gonna get rid of some other stuff. Like that, I think is like the bare minimum you should try to do.
100%. 100%. That's right. Clean water, not ocean water, I guess. All right, let's head over to game releases. That was a fun one today. Game releases, man.
Release the games. It's time for the game releases. Game releases.
Well, we're talking more like game releases of the year here. So pulled up a couple websites. So I'm gonna show my website first, which it only shows 20 games that came out in 2022.
Okay.
Oh, and so I'll start at the top here. So some of these we did talk about here on the show earlier in the year. Some we did not, but all good games, all been voted or played by somebody in this chat, pretty sure. So going back all the way up to the top. So it's the top 20. This is over at the amp.theguardian.com. The top 20 best video games. Marvel Snap. I know we talked about that. That's an app game. I started that. That's a fun game.
Is it? I was gonna say that looks amazing, and the thing I like about it most is how it's really quick. It's fast paced.
You get it. You could play like 10 games in like 2 minutes.
And what's good about that, Ahman, with Marvel Snap is, have you ever tried to learn a card game?
Yes.
And it's long, and you're like, okay, but what about the jacks? And you can do what with the aces? But if you had a card game where it's like, here, play this one time.
Right,
blah, blah, blah.
right.
Okay, you kind of get it? Let's do it again. Blah, blah, blah. You kind of get it? Yeah. You get to learn. It sounds like it'd be really easy to learn, I guess.
It is. Snap is easy to learn here.
Yeah.
Return to Monkey Island. I remember talking about that one. An interesting one. And then, of course, I just got this for Christmas. Horizon Forbidden West. Oh, I cannot wait to play that game. I'm trying to get out of freaking Gotham Knights. I love the game.
Yeah.
But I have a glitch problem. And I think I mentioned this on my stream.
What's going on?
So it's the last mission or last case you got to solve or arrest somebody.
Okay.
It's the Man Bat. If you ever watched the comic series or this TV show, there's a character called the Man Bat. He basically was a scientist that got injected with a bat serum, and now he's a bat.
Okay.
You got to fight him and beat him, and then boom, you close the case. When I got him about to die, he has about a millimeter of health left, and he doesn't die. But it shows that I killed him, but he's still flying up there on the top of the roof.
Have you Googled the
I'm gonna have to Google. That's what I haven't done yet. I'm gonna have to Google the Man Bat glitch because it's keeping me from beating the rest of the game. I'm like trying to do other missions, but the game is still going. Like I have to beat it until I beat him. So I'm like losing my mind right now with that game. But it's a great game. Other than it's it's tech. I know it's tech. It's gonna have those issues. So, but Horizon Forbidden West. I'm excited for that. So I think any other games. You see any other games on this one? Splatoon 3. That was a good one.
Let me bring it up again.
Yeah. And then we talked about, I think you talked about Nintendo Switch Sports, didn't you?
Probably.
Yeah, that was a fun
Sounds like
one.
something I'd be, yeah.
remember Cult of the Lamb? Remember that one was
I remember
diabolical. Now that was
remember
diabolical. We got a little cult of lambs worshiping the devil in the game, or as something, not the devil, but something similar to a devil, just saying. And they made this game. That's why video games so fun. You can say, "Hey, I worship the devil today," or whatever.
It is,
and you're talking about a video game. You're not talking about real life conversation. Right.
Is Stray on that list?
Yeah, Stray? Stray is on here. Let me get down here.
You know what? That might be if I just had to pick one.
There's Stray right here.
That's one it just seems so fresh and unique and new and different, and people seem to like it. Like that to me seems like good job. That you deserve some sort of recognition for that.
I knew that game was going to be about that life fire because I know so many cat people in the world. I'm like,
Stray 2 Dog Edition is going to be a smash.
Or the DLC Stray and Lost Dog Edition. Whoever the developers of that game were genius because there's so many cat people in the world. It's so many animal people in the world. I'm a dog guy. I like dogs. But I had every animal almost. I'll say almost. I've had a lot of animals. I'll just say that. Growing up as a kid, I had snakes, I had turtles, I had hamsters, fish, dogs, cats, birds. No, we didn't have no birds. So 6 species of animals in my house. Immortality. That was a game that got Game of the Year or it got nominated. I know Elden Ring, but I think won some awards at the Game Awards. And then the number one on this website, The Guardian, Wordle. is the game of the year. Now, I did not see that coming.
Wordle?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's Scrabble kind of, S game, but they gave this one their number one game of the year on this website. I was like, what?
That's an interesting
Wordle?
choice because it's not really what we'd be expecting to find as the number one choice. But you have to admit, Wordle came in and just kicked butt. Like everybody played Wordle.
It's like Scrabble. Everybody plays Scrabble, or they do word searches. Like as a kid, I loved doing word searches. I did word searches all the time, and one reason why was my 8th grade geography teacher, Mr. Simzovic. I'll never forget this. And I did in my classes where he gave out extra credit if you would solve the word searches before you took the test, after you took the test. So you could take your test. If you finished it early, he said, just do word searches for extra credit. And I'm like, extra credit? Like you get 5 points per word search.
And
I'm like, doing it? Done. And so I would get like 3 sheets of word searches done. So I have 15 points extra to add to my grade if it was low, if I didn't pass or whatever, which I was a geography guy. So I got mostly A's and B's in that class anyway.
I would do that. I like the idea though of Wordle because Mad Style says, yeah, Wordle in a sense went viral.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I like Wordle too because it's along the lines of Marvel Snap, right? You can sit down with Wordle and you can spend 10 to 15 minutes and it's a break for you mentally. I think it's actually probably good for us to, get our brain to start thinking in different ways for 10 to 15 minutes a day. Like, I think it's probably good for you. It's really easy and fast and it's fun and it's free. Like
100%. All that count adds
totally
up.
get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
We got your list here from Game Informer for you, John.
Yeah, so I went to Game Informer.
They did it a little differently. So
let's look at it from a perspective of Game Informer's top scoring reviews. So these are the games that got the highest scores in 2022. And it starts with a perfect 10 for Elden Ring.
And they won Game of the Year award, the Game of the Year.
So that to me, when we look back at
RPG there.
Yeah. When we look back at 2022, I think it probably has to go there. And then Tunic was almost a perfect 10. Have you played Tunic?
I don't think I played that one. I think I saw on the list. It could go, I think it went down as an honorable mention.
Okay.
But it looks like a fun game. It looks like almost like a Legend of Zelda. Little fox there, similar shield as Link and a sword fighting there.
Totally.
But,
totally.
I remember Vampire Survivors. We did talk about that because I'm a horror guy. I'm a vampire guy.
Yeah, that also got a 9.75 from IGN. So those are the top 3. Elden Ring at a 10. 9.75 was Tunic and Vampire Survivors. Then at 9.5, these are the games that got 9.5. Dying Light 2, Stay Human.
Yep, good one. First one was good. Second one was even better. And then Ragnarok, I got that ready to go. I said, as soon as I figure out, I'm gonna Google the Batman glitch. Yeah. And if it doesn't happen, then I'm gonna just God of War is my next game. I've been waiting for this for so long from the last one. Everybody that I know has played it. They loved it. So, so fun. Tiny Tina's Wonderland. We talked about that. Me and my boy Hank, we're playing it. We got to finish it. We didn't finish it.
You and Hank are playing that?
Yeah, we still playing it. And it's fun. I like Borderlands 3. And then Tiny Tina took over from there. Good game.
Neon White
I can see that rating being a 9.5. That's legit line 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Neon White also a 9.5, and then the 9.25s scoring Final Fantasy. What number is that? So it's
is that 14?
Is that 14?
Correct us if we're wrong, which I know we're wrong.
Does anybody know how to read? That's why I hate the Super Bowl.
See, Tunic like Zelda. Boom.
Yeah.
See. Has that look. I know that game. I know Legend of Zelda, man.
Final Fantasy Endwalker. Let's go there because it's just like the same thing they do with the Super Bowl, Ahman. They put Super Bowl XXVI 7, not 7.
But no, it's got to be 14 or 15 though. And then the Cast Me Out says Ragnarok has been sitting in her case for 30 days. See, you got game.
30 days, then Ahman can play it.
And boom, I'm gonna get it going. Oh, it is. See, I was right. It was 14.
Yeah,
I was right because I know when you put the is it an I? So you have the X, the I, and the V. If the I is in front of something, that means it's less than.
Well, I think it's the X is 10.
The X is 10, but then when you have
And then the
I in
IV
front,
is 4.
correct. So you have that I in the front of the 5. Because if you take that I there, then that's 15. And that's why it's 14, because the I is in front of the V.
Why do we stay so? Why do we still use Roman numerals?
Because it looks cool.
It looks cool, but honestly, I learned Roman numerals when I was like 10. I don't remember that.
Eeyore says it's I before V -1 off 5. Got it.
I have an easier way to do this.
Here's another way. X equals 10. 1 equals IV. Boom. Yeah. They passed that lesson in class. I know I didn't.
10. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sure I was great at it when I was 10, when I learned it. That was like 30 years ago.
Oh, Mario plus Rabbit sparks hope. Yes, that was a fun one. Family Switch, they can never not play a Switch game.
Anyway. Yeah. Are you still going through the game? Horizon Forbidden West 925, Norco 925, and then the 9s were Atari 50, the anniversary celebration.
Yep.
Citizen Sleeper, Destiny 2, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, how do you pronounce that? Live Alive? Live Alive?
Where are you at?
The 9s under Kirby.
Live Alive. Live Alive.
Live Alive. Live Alive. Live Alive. Live Alive.
A tongue twister on Switch.
Whatever. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Metal Hellsinger, Overwatch 2, Return to Monkey Island, and Rogue Legacy 2. We'll stop at the 9s.
We'll start at the 9s. All right, John. You got enough.
Top video games 2022.
Boom. I know right now, like I said, between Gotham Knights, other than the glitch, loved it. I know Ragnarok is going to be outstanding, fire. Can't wait to play that. I probably just started up this weekend since I'm having the glitch issues with Gotham Knights Man-Bat mission case or whatever. And then what else I got? Oh, I got Sonic Frontiers I got to get into. I got so much to do. So little time, John.
Get it done.
All right, let's head over to the season finale of Andor here and what's on stream.
Row, row, row your boat gently up the... sorry. Excuse me. It's time for what's on stream.
All righty. So we're finally here, man. We made it.
Episode 12. I watched it. I've been waiting to watch the finale until we got closer to game time so I wouldn't forget everything.
Right.
And so I watched this last night, Ahman. I was like, episode 12, let's go. Ooh, by the way, did you see the Death Star there?
Yes, I
think
did.
That was that at the very end after the credits, that shot of the Death Star?
Exactly. So I'm like, me being the fan I am of origin stories and prequels, and I'm like, ooh, it's showing the lead into the Death Star, and we know New Hope and then Empire Strikes Back and all that fun stuff. It's coming up. You just see the beginning of this. So,
but what's interesting, so there's going to be a season 2 of Andor, right?
Yes, it's going to be a season 2. So it's just interesting where it's going to take off. I mean, we kind of know where it's going to take off, but what else is going to be told? Because I'm thinking this is it. But okay,
we know we know they're not going to be successful in destroying the Death Star.
Correct.
We know how that happens, but I think obviously it's gonna. I thought that was just a cool shot to wait for after the credits. By the way,
that was genius. I mean, that was a no-brainer shot because I'm like, it got to show something from the Death Star or Rogue One or New Hope. Got to give us something. Watching this on Disney Plus and being Star Wars fanatics and people that are very canon about the story, you got to make sure you hit one of those, and that's what they did. They hit it out the park right there.
But here's my notes from the episode 12. So they start with that kid making the bomb. I'm like, who is this kid making this bomb? What is going to happen? We see how they use that later on.
Right. Yeah.
And so Cassian's
protest area, or at the funeral. At the
funeral, and that's where Cassian comes back. His mother had passed away, and he's coming back. And the Empire's like, we're going to get Cassian, and everybody's converging onto Ferrix to go. Basically, they're all in it for Cassian.
Yeah, and I was just a little surprised that he's smarter than that, but it's his mom. They know that. So I was just like, is he really going to show up? And so when he popped up on the scene, I'm like, oh, he's really, I thought he'd be somewhere else, like calming, communicating from a spaceship, not actually be in Ferrix right on ground zero where they know he's going to be at because his mother just passed. So that was a little twist for me, knowing how smart he is and how he knows the Empire and how they work.
I agree. He's also going back there to get Bix as well.
Of
So
course.
that
Yep.
probably plays into it. But you're right, because I'm thinking like, listen, everyone is there. Why would you go to the place where everyone is expecting you to go? You've already like had these, you escaped this unescapable prison. Like you got lucky. You flew through the showers and stole from the
From the Empire,
and you
right.
got away with it. You probably got a little lucky. Now you're going to press your luck and go to the spot where everyone expects you to be.
And they know,
Dude,
yeah,
you're running out of like, you're not going to be 3 for 3. Like you can't always win these things, Cassie.
yeah. And that's the beauty of the foreshadowing. Like it looks like he's making a rough decision and not a smart decision because of love, because of his mother. But in the back end, that's where okay, he's got to make it through because he's in Rogue One. He's in this, so you kind of know. But how is he going to get out of this again? Because, like you mentioned, the Empire had him in their prisons. They had him right there, and how they not find or know that he was there? It just shows their inadequate of sending information, because you get a list of names of people, pictures. They had his picture because they already been searching for him. And so now not to have him in his clutches and then not know he's there sitting in one of your prisons, that just shows where they were kind of like off a little bit in their hierarchy of prisons and to what information gets to the Empire, what to the chancellors or whoever's running the show. And we know the Emperor's running the show. They're dealing with other stuff, but obviously this is not really the information they were, I guess, looking to find, because like no way he's right there in a prison. Would you believe that, being an emperor or whatever? But they should know this. Like, come on.
Yeah. So, I mean, this episode 12 overall was not my favorite
Really?
episode. No, I like the heist. I like the prison escape ones. I love when he went to prison and you start to learn about the prison, that little stretch of episodes. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting to go here, but let's go here. And I thought it was really fun, that little stretch. I thought the heist episode was my favorite of the whole series. 12 was just kind of, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much, but basically they have this funeral procession for his mom, and then hologram mom says basically fight the Empire, right?
Yep.
Like
she gets some hype. She gets them ready to go. And that's why the one guy, one of the soldiers or one of the commanders, like puts his cape over it because he knows what's going on. But I think that needed to happen. Obviously I didn't think it was going to happen like that. I thought it'd be Andor doing something like that, like a pep talk, but it was actually his mother. Having her do it was even better because she's been there even to her dying breath. What was she doing? She was leaving her home to try to underground, try to defeat the Empire by herself. That's how bought in she was. So to see that and then have flashbacks of Andor's dad here and his mom too doing the speech. It brought it. I say for me, the episode, I like it because it kind of was a nice finishing bow to put on it, because you had all the elements of why is he going there, but then this hologram of his mom giving a pep talk to get the crowd going, be like, hey, we still don't like the Empire, we're gonna fight y'all regardless of what, even if we may not win. Still see that, and because you gotta have that rebellion always up front, because that's what's going on against the Empire. We don't like you. You don't like you.
Yeah, so they had the hologram projected from Cassian's droid, and she says, fight everybody, and they start to fight, as you saw in some of those clips here if you're watching us on Twitch or YouTube. And then basically Cassian finds Bix, right? Takes her to the ship where they're escaping. And then
that was good. It was good to find her. I'm surprised she survived. I'm happy she survived because they got her. They did some torturing to her real good.
Wait, where's this scene where he's taking a shower?
This is from early episodes. This is when he got caught.
Oh, I guess I don't remember that scene. Oh, I do remember that scene.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, I don't remember Cassian taking showers.
I'm just a tourist. Remember, I'm just a tourist.
Just a tourist.
I'm just a tourist.
But then what was surprising when he gets to that escape ship, you're thinking, okay, all right, well, season's over. Let's go to the. But no, he goes back. He's like,
he said, no, y'all leave. He's like, y'all leave.
You're like, what are you doing, dude?
And they're all looking at him like, where are you going? He's like, I got business. I got to handle stuff,
So basically how this season ends then is he goes back. He actually goes to Luthen's ship as Luthen was ready to leave, because Luthen was there with everybody else. And he was ready to kill Cassian because he didn't want the rebels to I'm sorry, didn't want the Empire to capture.
Right. Which
and
was
then
kind of like,
interrogate him.
I kind of had that feeling, but it was like, come on, man.
I mean, I get it though. Like if you're from Luthen's perspective, right? Like you have to go. You don't want the Empire getting.
You got to tie up the loose ends. You got to tie up the loose ends.
And unfortunately, you can't let Cassian speak. Like I get, like if Cassian speaks, everything they've done could fall apart.
But I don't think Cassian would have gave up the goods. I mean, we already know that he's been in so many different situations that if he would have cracked a long time ago. He's not
true,
that.
But he never had those headphones with the dying kids put on him before.
I don't think that would mess with Cassian.
No,
I think he's been damaged enough and fought long since he was 6 to where you torture him in any sort of way, he's not giving up the goods.
Okay.
I'll put my money on that. Because when you go through so much what he's been through mentally, physically, emotionally, on every level, he hates the Empire from the top of his head to his hair follicles down to his toes, the toenails on his feet. So he will do hell or high water. So he was probably disappointed with Luthen. He probably was more hurt knowing that Luthen wanted to kill him more than anything. I think that hurt him more. You can kind of see it in his face. So
right there.
Diego Luna did a great job in that scene right there, just to know, because this was a guy that he trusted when he came in the first couple episodes. It's like, look, I'm here for you. You know, you causing problems. Like, I need somebody like you on my team. So he recruits him in a way, and then at the end, he's like, man, basically, I got to tie you off. So I think if anything, that messed with him, because Luthen, you know, they've been working together and paid him. He got paid big money, all that, with the heist. And so now at the end, he's like, oh, I know you're here to kill me. Like, I think that bothered him more than anything, because I think he would, and it hurt him to the point where he didn't even shoot first, you know, because he knows, as we seen Cassian, when he's been in a fight or somebody, like in the first episode, he had those 2 cops on him, you know, interrogating him because they're being jerks. And what he does, he just reacts, kills them both. You know, it's business. It's business as usual.
Well,
you know,
even that guy who asked him to split the money too.
Exactly. And that guy that was on that was part of the team then that was going to, you know, turn the other people in and take the rest of the money. He even shot him. So that just show you how hurt he was when Luthen stood up to him. It's like he knew that Luthen was going to kill him. He didn't even shoot him because he knew he just had a trust with him, you know. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So it ends basically with Cassian telling Luthen, like, listen, either kill me, or what's he say? Kill me, or what are the options? Like, don't kill me, basically.
Or something. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. But great.
There's that little smirk Luthen gives, and that's how it ends.
Yeah.
So then now, Ahman, I have to rate this entire series, season 1.
What's your rating, John? What's your rating, buddy?
Just to keep everybody up to date, this is my rating system.
Yeah, we haven't done it in a while, so yeah, people tune in.
So if it's a 6 or 6.5, go ahead and watch it if you really want to. 7 or 7.5, it's good, probably worth your time. Like, go check it out. Anything, by the way, below 6, no. 8 to 8.5, it is really good. I think you need to watch this. A 9, this is exceptional. This is a must watch. 9.5, could not recommend it more. This is elite. Like we're talking fantastic television series. 10, all-timer. Like, you can't talk about TV series without talking about this TV series. So overall, when it was all said and done, my first gut reaction was 8.5.
Okay.
It is really good. You need to watch Andor. I was on the fence about this series at the beginning. It was a little different. They had like techno music at the beginning. Remember, I'm like, what is this, Star Wars? What? Because in the subtitles, techno music playing. Like,
yeah, it did say that. It did say that, right?
Electronic music or something. So I give it an 8.5. It is really good. I really think you need to watch this. I would almost gave it a 9, where it's a must watch. So
what kept you from giving it a 9?
What kept me from giving it a 9 was probably the fact that, like, the one thing I really wanted the most was that heist scene. And it seemed to me like they dragged it.
Aldani. Aldani.
Yeah, it seems to me like they dragged it along. The last episode is fine. They kind of tie up some loose ends. That to me dragged a little bit too. I did love the prisoner escape series of episodes, like I said before.
There's like 2 of those. 2 episodes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what held me back, honestly. From 8.5 to maybe a 9. I mean, that's a really good score. I mean,
yeah, no, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And I'm probably right with you. I'll probably right above you with a 9. Exceptional, and it's a must watch. I say it's a must watch if you are a Star Wars fan. Like it or love it, you got to watch it, because then this for me fills in, gaps. It fills in gray areas that I didn't know about the series. Now you learn more about different characters. This story has been around. What Eeyore says is, if you didn't watch Rogue One first, it's rates higher, right?
Oh, interesting, because I have not. I'm going to be honest with you, Ahman. I have not watched Rogue One,
and
really
what did I mentioned that to you, didn't I? I said watch Rogue One, right? Because Rogue One, he's now past all this, and when I say he, talking about Andor, he's past all this. So now he's at that moment where he gets Jyn Erso right there. He meets her, and he's like, he's already experienced. He's already been through the ringer. So he's at his last straw. Like, this is it. We're taking them out. You got what? You got plans to the what? What's it called? The Death Star? Oh, okay. I got this, because I've already been in the clutches of the Empire. They didn't even know I was there. So that's what he was referenced to when he makes the line of, the Empire is so big and bad, you could spit in their food, you could walk down their streets, you could walk in the building, they don't even know you're there. Mm-hmm. He has the experience. They didn't even know he was there when he was in their prison, like I mentioned earlier. So it's those remarks that I could see set things up for now. And so, like I said, I'm definitely 9 area exceptional. If you're a fan, if you need to know certain things, you need to watch this series. So my man Scott says I give it a 9. It was a little slow in the middle episodes, true. Mm-hmm. And I say the slowness, I tell my wife this all the time. When a movie is slow, they're telling a story, because they don't want you to miss some of the fine details, of a scene, a parent scene, or, the scenes with his mom and his dad, his scenes flashing back when he was a kid. Those are just giving that information. So then when you see a later episode, be like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was his mom. His mom did this, said this to him, blah, 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 whatever. So that's why it gets slow, because they have to throw that stuff in there just to make the story a well-rounded story. And you get to Rogue One there, and obviously Death Star being put together at that time. So
by the way, Scott had said can't wait for season 2. I'm in on that too. JFK 305 says, okay, watching Andor now. I'll watch it. And here's how I think you should watch it too. Lights down. Big sound, get that Sonos
popcorn, get your popcorn,
settle in, and let the story take control. It's awesome. It's really awesome from that perspective.
You get that full effect, man. Yeah. Star Wars movies should be recommended on anything bigger than 100 inches. You don't have a 100 inches screen at your home, go to the movie theater. If you have somebody that owns a movie theater, ask them to use it. Or if somebody has a big screen TV at their house, hey man, I'm coming over and watching Andor and some other movies. They're all Star Wars based. They'd be like, you know what? I got you. Don't worry about it.
But remember too, you're not going to see a lightsaber.
No, and that's the beauty of this, because you hear Star Wars, you just expect it.
Exactly.
And you do see laser, pew 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 pew. It was guns, pew 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 pew.
Yeah, you got those.
It was that, and no Jedis. It was no Jedis either.
And it's different. Like the way in the beginning when he kills those guys, you're like, well, hold up. He just murders some guys? Like, what's happening here?
But like I said, he's that guy. Yeah. He's a rebel. Rebels cannot be found out. They gotta run, duck, and hide. They gotta be everywhere but nowhere. You get what I'm saying? They gotta be everywhere but nowhere, because if they're found, the Empire, as we know, as what we saw the prison scene, once they know where you are, they're coming for you.
Yeah. And to me, that was the prison stuff. And once I know I've said this like 4 times now, but okay. I love that it like, as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I know what's happening. We're going to have a heist. How are they going to plan? Because we've seen Ocean's 11. We know how regular real life heists look, but now we're like Star Wars heist. I'm like, this is going to be cool. And the graphics and the CGI, everything was amazing.
The acting, everything. Right.
The acting, yeah. And then when he goes to prison, you're like, oh, I've seen prison escape movies, but not Star Wars prison escape movies. I'm like, let's go. What is this going to be like? And it's so unique and different. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah. And then in the video I found here, I didn't realize it had this, but it has a Mandalorian 3 that's coming out.
Oh, don't even.
Andor and season 2 is coming out. So we got Mandalorian 3. Oh my God, you love what's the baby?
Grogu. I cannot.
You are a Grogu fan because of your daughter, so I know you're excited.
I love. It's unhealthy how much I love Grogu.
He said it's unhealthy.
It is. It's a little creepy that the 40-something-year-old man loves this little alien so much. I don't know. It's
Okay.
just. But I love Grogu so much. They better not hurt that little guy in
They
any
won't.
episodes. If they
They
ever
won't.
hurt
They
Grogu,
can't. He's a Jedi. He can't be.
Well,
Well,
he-
he can be hurt, but he's
I
on
would
it,
be
and he's
so
just-
mad. I would quit watching Star Wars if they ever hurt Grogu. Look at that little guy.
Yeah,
He's
that's
so
true.
adorable.
Yeah. So I'm geeked about that Mandalorian 3. That's my guy. I say I was a Mandalorian if that was a real like thing. Like if it was, in my head is real. So in another lifetime, I was a Mandalorian. That was the way for me.
The way in a galaxy far, far
In
away.
a galaxy far, far away.
A long,
And
long
and
time ago.
everybody on this that's listening on this podcast stream, YouTube, Twitch right now, they all know that in their head. They like in another lifetime, I was a Jedi, or I was an Imperial trooper, or I was a Sith Lord, or I was something in this universe. Now tell me if you don't think that, and you're a Star Wars fan, if you didn't think that, I know you're lying, because I know I thought about it every day. I'm like Mace Windu, Luke Skywalker. I'm that dude. I'm one of them. I was one of them in another lifetime.
I was Grogu in another life.
There you go.
By the
Yeah.
way, real quick, I love the fact that Star Wars didn't be like the year 3314.
Right. Yeah, you don't know. Yeah.
In the universe, planet. Well, I guess they have planets, but I love that they just made it generic. Like this happened a long, long time ago in a galaxy
Right.
far, far away. Like that's all you need to know.
Right, because somebody might know that it might happen. It might have really happened. You don't know, because we know it's life on other planets and other galaxies. It's got to be. If you don't think that, then you're not thinking. You're not thinking. So what's up, Seth? So what's up, Ahman and John? And then I love Scott going here. Ahman DeLorean. That's dope. That is dope. That is dope. I love it. I love it. Ahman DeLorean. It goes right together, man.
Wow.
It goes right together.
That is fantastic, and we need to use that somehow. That needs to become like a handle, a gamer.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know how. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great job.
That's the second time in a week where somebody has done. I don't know what you call that with my name.
Like they kind of, I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't know what they call that either.
So I met a kid. So last week or 2 weeks ago, when the Packers played their last home game, I can't remember who they played last home game, but I should know this. I did an autograph signing. I signed an autograph for a kid. Real quick, he said, "Okay, Mon, when I was a kid, when I was smaller, so he's like 20 something now, and when I was playing, he said, Mon, when you were playing, I was like 5."
Yeah.
And he said, I didn't know how to say your name because I was 5. So I just said it how a 5-year-old would say my name. I would say your name. And so I took a picture of it. And I can't even say it. Let me look at this picture real quick. And then we can get up.
To what's this is.
And he had me spell it to make sure I spelled, I said, you got to write it down so I know what I'm writing.
Yeah.
Where is it? Here we go. Okay, he actually, as a 5-year-old, he pronounced my name instead of Ahman. He put it into 2 words, Mon Green, instead of Ahman Green. Mon. So first name was Mon, and the last name Green. Gween, Gween.
Mon Green.
Mon Green. So he would cheer Mon Green. So there you go, a Mandalorian and Mon Gween. So if you ever see a Mon Gween, I might change my gamer tag to that. I don't know. Just thinking about it. There you go.
I remember when me and my buddies were in college. That's when your career was starting out, and like you would be in our fantasy football drafts and everything.
Right.
And the way we always said your name was, man, like Green.
I've gotten that.
Yeah,
I've got some of that.
I'll
take
man, Green.
There you go. So another one. So back in college, when I was at Nebraska, my freshman year, I'm having a good season. We're having a good season as a team.
Mm-hmm.
It was MON JFK Mon Green MON, but the last name is spelled correctly. You nailed it on the last name. So real quick, and then we'll get off this show today. Great show today, by the way, John. And chat, it's been awesome. But real quick, my freshman year at Nebraska, they started chanting my name. And so what the Husker fans would do before I got there, they would go Big Red, go Big Red. Like you a Husker fan, you know that chant. You know, go big red, go big red. So that was the chant, right?
Okay.
No matter the first, the middle, first half, second half, halftime, whatever, they were doing that chant. By my halfway through my freshman year, the student section started to say, Ahman Green, Ahman Green. And I'm like,
I love it.
I looked up at the student section like, oh, what? I'm like, really? I mean, it was just crazy. I'm like, they took a chant and they redid the chant on the spot. I'm like, oh,
freestyle.
Ahman Green, Ahman Green. I was like, thank you. I said, that's dope. I was like, dope. So shout out to the student section back from 1995. Thank you for that. I appreciated that, man. I was a freshman. All of a sudden, I got a whole 100, 200 kids saying my name. We're all the same age. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's pretty dope. So hope everyone have a great stream. Hope everyone have a happy new year. And hope you got the Christmas gifts you wanted. And if you didn't, put them on the list for next year. All right. We'll be back next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. We're going to have guest 300. His name, he's a gamer name, obviously. He's one of the coaches for the UEL. So we're going to start. We're going to have an interview with the UEL coach. Goes by the name of 300. I'll put that out. So if you know him, check him out. He'll be on the stream next week. Same back channel, same back time. Talk about all our fun little topics that we do. And so, John, let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
At John Audius Radio on Twitter, at JohnCast Podcast on Twitter and Instagram as well.
All right. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at AhmanGreen30. Right. No, other way. Right there. Boom, 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 boom. And on TikTok, Gamers Lounge, Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge on TikTok. That didn't work out good at all. So thank you for coming in, and we'll see y'all next week.
Brought to you by Bet Online.